the roadmap of a legend to remember. Welcome back to the studio. Today, we're embarking on a journey that was, quite frankly, a massive departure from my experience with the Gloomsire. We're painting the Cinder Thorn. Now, before I even touched a brush, I spent 2 full days just thinking. In my 35 years of doing this, I've learned that the thinking phase is where the real work happens. You have to devise a roadmap. For this piece, the theme was religious zealotry gone wrong, a figure meant to look divinely and eternally punished. To get that right, I had to find the perfect proportion of flame and decay. My plan revolved around one thing: dirty fire. Not the pure magical flames you see in high fantasy, but the kind of fire that develops from burning flesh and fat. It's grimdark in its purest form, telling a horrible story through a single miniature. Phase 1. The Foundation of Fire. We start with my usual, a zenithal prime over the whole model. This gives us that immediate map of black and gray shadows with white highlights. Now, for the first color, pure orange. I hear you asking, you said the flames were dirty, why start so bright? Well, orange is the perfect middle ground between red and yellow. I fired up my faithful Galeri compressor, grabbed the airbrush, and gave all the flaming parts a solid base coat. This serves 2 purposes. It acts as a shade for the yellow we're about to add, and a highlight for the reds coming later. That's step 1 of our dirty flame. Phase 2. Introducing the grime. To cut that brightness, I took some red diluted heavily with water, basically a wash, and ran it over the innermost parts of the orange. It starts to kill that clean look. But what comes next is what really brings the soot. I loaded the airbrush with black ink. I started right at the core of the miniature and where the flames touch the body. I added successive light layers until the center was dark, but still left those gray zenithal shadows visible on the edges. And here's a pro tip. Don't be afraid to wipe away excess black ink with your fingers. It sounds messy, but it's the best way to keep your highlighted surfaces clean while the ink settles into the cracks. I even shaded the flames with this black ink. You have to be careful here. Watch how that black interacts with the orange to get that smoky, suffocating look. Phase 3. The cooked texture. Once that was dry, I ink brushed a layer or 2 of brown and flesh inks over the entire miniature. This is crucial. It ensures the recesses have a meaty feel and gives the whole model that cooked look. I even ran this over the flames. It blends the fire and the body together, suggesting that the flames are literally fueled by the character's own meat. While that's set, I moved to the details. The horns, bones, talons, the flash on the chest, the organs, and eyes all got their base coats. I shaded the bone areas with brown and flesh inks, then pulled them back up with bone white. Then I gave the whole model another diluted coat of black ink to blend everything into one cohesive, dark narrative. Now we're ready for the highlights, and I want to share a specific trick with you. Red, orange, and yellow are viscous, transparent colors. They struggle to pop over dark surfaces like the scorched black skin we've just created. To solve this, I create a highlighting bed. I do a very light dry brush of gray, followed by an even lighter white dry brush on the very tips. This white surface allows the bright colors to actually show up, and if you feel they are too bright, you can always tone them down like I did below. Because these colors are hard to layer over each other, I go in reverse. I highlight the tips with yellow, then add orange, and finally red as I go deeper. This creates a perfect flaming glow that looks like it's radiating from inside the charred skin. I also used this to pop the fleshy organs in the ribcage and abdomen, using rotting flesh tones to make them look like the source of the fire. When the brightness needed to be toned down a bit, I washed with brown or flesh inks. Conclusion: the base. For the base, I went with a blue-gray pavement look. I shaded it with blue and black ink, then used my flame highlight method, the yellow, orange, and red, to paint reflections on the stones. It gives the impression that the fire from the miniature is actually casting light onto the ground. And that is it, from a king to a pawn, consumed by his own zealotry. If you want to see more of these projects or pick up a uniquely painted serialized miniature for your own collection, visit me at dressart3d.com. Unique 3D printed painted miniatures and merch. You can also grab some exclusive merch to help us keep these tutorials coming. Own the darkness, own the legend by adding a miniature you will surely remember in your collection. Thanks for appreciating my art. I'll see you in the next one. Ronin out.